Oh man, I'm gonna upset some people right now, and some of the things I'm gonna say. Now, when we hear these conversations, these Pan African conversations, when we have these conversations about returning to Africa as diaspora, something I often say, and I had this conversation with my homie from Zimbabwe. There's three Africas. There's the villages, there are the vacation resorts, and then there's the place where the resources are being extracted. Something that we're not privy to, something that we never see. See, they'll show you on TV the poor Africans in the village. They'll show you Egypt and the vacation resorts where you can come to and have a good time, return to Africa, right? But then they'll turn around and tell you, well, Africa is the most rich continent on the planet with vast resources from uranium to gold to platinum to silver to copper, coltan, cocoa, everything, coffee, all of these things that actually feed the world. They tell you that Africa is rich in all these things, right? Then they talk about the Black Revolution and Pan-Africanism and coming back to Africa. And as a diasporan African, I'm asking the question that, how can we have these conversations when we're not having the right conversation? But see, because you're not going to turn on your TV and see those coltan mines in the Congo. I won't let you see it. You're not going to see those uranium mines over there in Uganda or those gold mines in South Africa. I want to know those cargo ships that's shipping that stuff out, where is it going? Who are the ones shipping the cargoes? Who are the ones shipping the resources out? How is that money being allocated back to those African countries? If we don't know that, don't talk to me about Pan-Africanism in 2023. I don't want to hear it. The cotton over there in Egypt, the coffee in Egypt. These countries are supposed to be so poor and there's so much corruption. You have fake makeshift presidents that don't have no power because they doing what they told by their captors that's still controlling the country from the shadows. Show us how that money's being reallocated back to the people to redevelop their country. And if it really was, then why would the Asians have to come there and take everything? Why would the Asians have to come there and damn near threaten to take over Uganda's airport? And Ethiopia or more Eritrea losing their seaports and all these different things. Man, why? Why? The problem's going on in Guinea. These places are rich and vast in natural resources. Natural resources that should be able to redevelop their people. Africans aren't stupid. Nigerians are some of the smartest people on the planet. But why is there so much corruption? Why is the country just beaten down and the roads are beaten in the squalor? Not just because of corruption. It's because the resources there are still controlled by outsiders, where the African doesn't have enough strong enough military to protect its interests. And those leaders are handpicked to be in there by the Europeans. Over there in West Africa, you still have the French still owning a lot of those countries there. Their money is still in those banks. France own those countries still. They have makeshift leaders. Fake. I'm asking, and I need people, don't get offended. I'm a diasporan African brother in the diaspora asking this question. Until we get control of those resources there, where we're at the table as leaders in positions of power, saying we're going to sell our oil, we're going to sell our diamonds to you the way we want to sell them to you. You can no longer come here and extract. Y'all remember when Pat Robertson got caught extracting diamonds out of Liberia? With those planes that he said he was sending to Liberia for aid, he was extracting diamonds out of there, selling them and sending that money to the Cayman Islands. The leader of Liberia was it Charles Tyler went to jail. He didn't. Pat Robertson didn't. Because we know that Pat Robertson's father at one time, we already know who his father was. I don't really want to get into that because I don't want them to start striking my channel. But look up Pat Robertson's father. Pat Robertson from the that Christian network. His father. And look up who he was and why Pat Robertson could say the things that he said and get away with it for so many years. Man, this thing is bigger than what you guys really understand. And on a world scale, we looked at it as a joke. Because if you don't have the resources to redevelop your people, you ain't doing nothing. Nothing. You don't have the science and the technology to use the machines to get those minerals out of the ground and refine them to be able to be used the way we use them. You have no power. You have no nothing. Pan-African what? If you ain't up to speed with the sciences and the way the world is moving. All this is a joke. Zimbabwe, Niger, all these countries, man, Chad, and man, listen, all these countries is rich. Rich. Mali and natural resources, man, that we don't own and control, that the Africans don't own and control. And until you have some type of authority over your own land, we only saw 2 Africas. We never saw the 3rd Africa. The actual Africa that moves the world. The real Africa. Not those makeshift villages where people living in squalor. Not them fake ass vacation resorts. I'm talking about the real Africa. When you could take me to the cocoa place where they get the cocoa at. When you could take me with the coffee where they moving that cotton and all that stuff out there to the world and exchanging the multi-trillion-dollar industries. That's the Africa. Because that's the Africa that the China want to go see. The China don't give a damn about your villages. China don't give a damn about your vacation resorts. China want them resources. China want to go to the 3rd Africa. The ones that they don't let us see. That's what China want. That's the real Africa. And if you ain't going there, you're just wasting our time, man. And this is why we have sellouts, Sambos. We have Africans that come here and all they looking to is white people. Black Americans don't want to go to Africa and get into that and get into the money. We're separate from each other. We're conditioned to be separate from each other because we don't understand the power of Africa. Other groups do. That's why we go to the Caribbean and Hawaii. We bypass Africa, while everybody else around the world is going to Africa to get in the business of getting money. To get in the business of getting money. So I don't want to hear all this talk. If we ain't pushing these African leaders to take control of those resources there, where they can redevelop their people and build their people up, man, listen, it's over. It ain't nothing else we can do. It's over. Because the other countries are going to always have the advantage over us, man. Always. That's my take on it. Hit that like button. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think. That's just my opinion. Remember, I love y'all. To the next time. Peace.